Benjamin Franklin Parkway is one of Philadelphia's most valued public places. It is the setting for many of the region's finest cultural institutions, magnificent sculptures, and most photographed vistas. Yet the Parkway is often experienced only through the windshield of a car, and except for major festivals, it is often unwelcoming to pedestrians. The Parkway was first conceived at the end of the 19th century as a grand diagonal boulevard connecting the center of the city to Fairmount Park. Modeled in part on the Champs-Élysées in Paris, early Parkway plans envisioned cultural and educational institutions, hotels, theaters, clubs, and apartments. Construction commenced in 1907, and by the 1920s, new institutions were emerging along this mile-long expanse. With the Depression and World War II, all work ceased, and plans to build an American Philosophical Society, an Academy of Art, and a new regional performing arts center were put on hold. After World War II, office development filled the gaps east of Logan Square. But to the west, apart from a few high-rise apartment towers along its far edges, the Parkway became a well-landscaped roadway. As the Vine Street and Schuylkill expressways cut canyons through the city, and as people moved to the suburbs in the 1950s and 60s, more and more of the Parkway was taken over by automobiles, leaving fragmented pieces of unused and unsafe open space. From 1917 until the bicentennial, city ordinances banished restaurants and cafes from the Parkway. But even as a highway, the Parkway doesn't function well. At rush hour, traffic slows to a crawl, while off-peak, empty seas of asphalt isolate cultural institutions, leaving pedestrians to run for their lives. Stretched over 8,000 acres of parkland, the steadily diminishing budget of the Fairmount Park Commission leaves Parkway sidewalks and parking lots crumbling. Only when civic groups have taken responsibility to create dedicated revenue streams have specific areas been beautifully maintained, setting a standard for what the Parkway can become. As we approach its 100th anniversary, we have an opportunity to fulfill the vision of its founders and to complete the Benjamin Franklin Parkway. Join us now in the near future as we experience Philadelphia's grandest boulevard. Beginning in the heart of Center City, surrounded by office buildings, JFK Plaza becomes a green gathering place. The new design recognizes the axis of the Parkway, drawing the eye along the perspective to the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Terraced gardens create intimate sitting areas at the Love Park Cafe. The city's skyline is reflected in the water. The music of noontime concerts drifts through the air. Newly designed walkways and gardens create a welcoming point of arrival for commuters exiting from the garage below and from the new connection to Suburban Station. All along the Parkway, uniformed workers provide information, cleaning, and maintenance. Between JFK Plaza and Logan Square, the axis of the Parkway is reinforced with trees and new landscaping as new buildings animate the edges. At Logan Square, a new Parkway Visitor Center provides information about the city, current exhibits, and events. By covering the Vine Street Expressway, Logan's traffic circle is restored to the public square envisioned by William Penn. With frequent, safe, new pedestrian crossings, the majestic Swan Fountain, the circle and the square, becomes easily accessible. 10 acres of new parkland are created, and this great public space is connected to surrounding cultural institutions and hotels, as exhibits from inside come out into the square at themed pavilions. Imagine having lunch at the Academy of Natural Sciences Dinosaur Cafe, visiting the Baldwin Locomotive in the Franklin Institute Science Park, watching more College of Art students work on a new installation, and seeing the original illustrations from Alice in Wonderland at the Free Library's bookshop and coffee house. The new square is large enough to accommodate lawns, playgrounds, flower beds, and places to sit under the trees. Hidden beneath is a parking garage for 800 cars, easily accessible to nearby offices and institutions. From Logan Square, a central promenade gives pedestrians the best parkway vistas. By consolidating the existing islands and moving them to the center of the boulevard, a broad 130-foot wide promenade allows pedestrians to stroll safely along the central axis of the parkway. People can walk all the way to the art museum among themed gardens, kiosks, cafes, and outdoor exhibits. Separate paths for joggers, rollerbladers, and bicyclists fill the promenade with life throughout the day. Along the edges, plantings and streams of water buffer pedestrians from cars. Traffic lanes are shifted to each side of the promenade, eliminating dangerous weaves and reducing congestion at rush hour. Along the boulevard's edges, new cultural institutions, restaurants, and shops animate the sidewalks. Mid-rise apartment buildings face the parkway to create a tree-lined neighborhood for 3,000 to 4,000 residents. The new promenade allows pedestrians to cross over traffic directly to Aikens Oval, to a great lawn for recreation, outdoor sculpture, concerts, small festivals, and art fairs. Currently an isolated parking lot, Aikens Oval is transformed into a gateway to the Philadelphia Museum of Art and Fairmount Park. Existing parking is placed underground, enlarged to 1,500 cars, ensuring an ample number of spaces for the largest art shows and events. The edges of this grand plaza are defined and brought to life by exhibits, cafes and restaurants, bookstalls, a children's carousel, an interactive water fountain, and winter ice skating. Aikens Oval becomes a truly well-used public space. From its inception approximately 100 years ago, the Parkway was not the product of timid tinkering, but a bold and imaginative effort to transform the fabric of the city. Today, this vision is updated for the new century. Completing the Benjamin Franklin Parkway means connecting the city and the park, developing a vibrant cultural district, a new Philadelphia neighborhood, and an active urban boulevard. Gardens, exhibits, restaurants, and recreation make the Parkway a memorable destination. A worthy goal for the new century. A worthy goal for the new millennium.